All right, everybody. Lovely, lovely to see you. A few messages here. People getting on. Hopefully they're making it. So gathering for inquiry, gathering for this precious time of wondering. Most of us thinking, just noticing the mind as we think and feel things all through our lives and assuming they're real, right? Assuming that's reality. But kind of noticing it probably isn't, or we're suffering when we think that. So here we are gathered. Take a look at that. All right. So step one, where we begin in the work, is always finding that situation or some kind of condition that we are arguing with, that we oppose, that we think of as tough, hopeless. So just always at the beginning of our Friday inquiries here, letting that all percolate in here and come up. Maybe you're really clear about something that feels really troubling for you. A moment, a conversation, a relationship, a thing that's going on. Maybe you just notice just a feeling of discomfort. Don't like it. Just don't like this about life. So welcome everybody who's joining. So sweet to have you here. Haven't had a Friday inquiry in a while. I had to postpone a week for retreat last week, so it's lovely to be here. Okay. So just given that, step one, identifying our belief, identifying the story. There's a situation, I love, if your mind is like mine, you do see things in movie format. It skips around. It doesn't really have a beginning, middle, and end. But it's like you're watching a movie. You see that person, but you've got all the stormy feelings inside. Trouble. There's trouble in this situation. And maybe even in your movie, you're imagining where this is going, what the future is going to be. Trouble. Don't like it. Just notice if you land on a person where there's trouble, a condition in yourself. Sometimes that's like a disease, pain, and ailment. Or a thing like money or some other item you seem to have trouble with when it comes to you and this thing. Trouble. So just noticing what seems to come up here today, presenting itself for inquiry. I love how Katie says, we're listening. Just letting that all come in, letting it come in. Sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming. There's a lot. You could make a list. And just trusting one situation at a time. It's all that's necessary. Who knows if you take a close look at one situation, what can happen from there? Who knows? Okay. So getting ready to write things down so helps so much. Putting pen to paper, or if it's on your device, that works too. Now we start with this step one. Finding a moment in time or finding a condition or thing or person that we feel really troubled by. And then we're going to write and let those troubling thoughts come right out. Let them be there. And if you can, invitation, not to do it on yourself or to just notice. Some of us have such a drive to think, well, it was me. I'm the one. If only I would change, I should be different. And just notice that one that runs, that's in there. But it's in relating somehow in this conversation with life, with the world, that happens to be this person or this thing or this condition. Between me and this thing, I'm having trouble. And we're going to make sure we look out and see what we think about that, unedited, what we think about the other in this conversation. You want to capture that, even if thoughts about yourself are running. So just noticing that we're letting that tendency for the mind to want to correct ourselves. But really before that, if only that thing changed. Well, that's interesting. If only that changed, I'd be happy. I wouldn't even have this problem. So as we find our thoughts about what it is we're looking at, I'm just going to let your mind be unedited and judgmental and childish as it focuses on something you've experienced that you feel like you argue with. Just one thing that you don't like, you feel despair about, trouble. And just let your mind land on that one thing, that one moment. Does anyone have trouble finding a situation, being clear about a situation? I like thinking of it as I was watching a movie. If I push the pause button, just held still right there. That's where something bubbled in here, and just letting it pause right there. Right when that person said, or their face looked like that. So there's the troubling situation. Okay, you know what it is. I'm upset in this situation. Right in that moment, I'm upset because, and write down why. I like thinking of it as the thing I'm finding offensive, or the thing that's creating sadness, this trouble within. I'm upset because, and see if you can keep your sentences very simple. I'm upset because. Welcome everybody who's joining. We're starting with the Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. So in that situation, I'm troubled, I'm upset because I'm just naming the crime, the condition, the problem. The fear. So number 2, how do you want what you're looking at to change? So what do you want it or that person, that thing, what do you want it to do or say? How do you want it to change? What do you want it to do? What do you want them to do? And welcome to those who just arrived. So we found a situation. It's really troubling, just like one person. And now we're writing down our thoughts. So number 1, I'm upset with that person because, yes, thank you. Love the chat. Help. Judge your neighbor. Letting these judgments be here. Judge your neighbor. Judge it. So I love thinking of this number 2 on the judge your neighbor. How do I want what I'm looking at to change? How do I want that person to change? What do I want them to do? So unedited. If you just feel like you're about 4 years old having a tantrum, that's the spirit. Let it be there like that. But sometimes we feel ashamed of what we're thinking. And you don't have to share it, but you'll have it written, clear, right in front of you. How do you want that to change? Okay. Number 3, what advice would you give this person, condition, thing? So should, shouldn't. What do I recommend? Especially so that this change could happen. They could make that change. That thing that you want, what do you recommend? What's your advice? I'm just letting the trouble speak. He should. She shouldn't. It should. Welcome. We're writing a Judge Your Neighbor for those just joining. I always start with a Judge Your Neighbor. I love the meditation of just letting the thoughts be here and getting them out on paper. So, number 4, what do I need from this person in this situation, from this thing, from this condition? What do I need in order to be happy? Sometimes it feels impossible. I can't imagine being happy in this situation. But if you could imagine it, in order to be happy, what do I need from them, from that over there? What do I need that person to think or say or do or feel? And then I would feel, this would just, I'd be able to relax. I'd be comfortable. I'd be excited. Whatever happiness kind of fits in this moment. I need. And really give yourself what you need. You know, if they said that, oh, that'd be amazing. If they did that, if they thought this, what do I need in order to be happy? It's like letting ourselves have that. If the conditions changed, I could rest. I could be okay. Even if we think we know better, just letting ourselves write it. Number 5, what do you think of them? What you're looking at, that situation, that thing, that person, that condition. What do I think of them? Unedited. Make a list. So I like just usually, one word at a time, just a description. Just let the emotion come alive. He is unedited. How would you describe what you're looking at? And the very last question, what is it that you never want to experience again in this situation? I don't ever want. If I could move things the way that would just make me happy, what do I never want to experience again? I don't ever want. So having these thoughts on paper, so useful. I just notice if your mind is like mine, oh, I have trouble there. I have trouble there. Let's just skip through this and move on. And yeah, questions are perfect. So I don't get question number 5. So looking at that person, saying, how would I describe them? They are selfish, rude. Like in this situation, just how are they being? What qualities would I say that they're doing in the moment, especially that I don't like, that cause the trouble? Or that thing, money, is scarce, uncaring, absent. And yes, if somebody raised their hand, they can come off. Oh, no, okay. All right. All right. So yeah, just such the freedom of letting it be unedited. And I also know sometimes when you're right in this and you're writing these things down, the trouble comes alive, that thing that feels disturbing. And just letting yourself know it's safe to be thinking about this. First, there's the memory or the thought or the experience, the situation, and then, oh, that tendency to want to fix it and ruminate on it or avoid it, get away from it. Just allowing it to be here, safe to be noticed, safe to be looking closely and to feel these feelings. They have a message. Luckily, we've got the work. We've got 4 questions. We're interested in finding out what's really true for us here. All right, yeah. Is it Ima? Am I saying that right?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, thank you very much. I love your work and the work too. I don't know if but there's something that really upsets me. It says I find myself judging everybody, and I really hate that. And well, and I wrote a worksheet with it. If it's right, okay. Somebody else can work. Huh? I don't know if I'm done. Okay.
It's cutting out just a little bit, like just it sounds like you were saying,
oh,
you notice that you're just judging everybody.
Mm.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I said.
Yes. Well,
that's what I said.
Yeah.
And that really upsets me.
Yeah.
And then I find myself judging myself for this. And then I wrote a worksheet and I had some doubts about it. And I love to ask if you don't mind.
Yeah. Alas, I think it's for some reason it's hard to hear you, and it's just cutting out a little bit, kind of in there. We kind of get your voice.
Oh, well,
I know.
so sorry. Don't know what to do. Don't know what to do.
Well, I'm glad you can hear.
Anybody else? And yeah.
I'm glad you can hear us. I'm glad you're here. And
Yes.
and I don't know if this helps. You know, just noticing if you have that thought, which I did hear Emma say, I just judge everybody. There I go, judging everybody. Just in a way, you can just start with people. People, I'm upset with humans because, and see what comes out. You know, here's what they do. What do they say? What's happening? And you notice it'll be in just not all the time, but like in moments and situations, and just see where the volume rises on this judgment. Like there might be light little judgments that happen just constantly chattering away all day. And if the volume turns up, your feelings get strong, like, oh, this is a bigger judgment. Those are the good ones. Those are like little magnetic movements. Go towards that one. And if sometimes if you're just at a loss and you feel like, oh, but the whole world, there's so many problems, it can be helpful, I think, to just look at those who are close to you, or as Katie's little invitation, mother, father, sister, brother. Mother, father, sister, brother. These people that are very close, you know, quite the influence. So nice little, you know, kind of wondering and flailing around, like, let's just, what did I not like about mother, father, sister, brother? Kind of go back, even if you think you can't remember it super well, and just see what's there. Yeah. And it might be family members that are here now in your life. All right. Okay, everyone. So who would like to do the work? So what you'll do is we'll just, if you're willing, you know, tell us the situation, and then we'll just move from there. You'll have a thought. You've got your concepts written down, and we'll go. So you can raise your hand or wave. Julie, hello, my dear.
Good to Hi. See you.
Hi.
Yeah, I would like to do the work with you today.
Wonderful. So good. All right.
Yeah. So do you want me to tell you the situation?
Yeah, tell the situation. Okay.
So I have this colleague, and he reminds me of my father. Mm-hmm. and he is judgmental, and he's making snide comments to me. And yesterday at work, he was really upset about something, and I saw myself getting very anxious and worried and overreacting and trying to fix it, like scared. So my statement is, I want him to recognize my efforts and see how hard I'm working.
Okay. Writing it, we might make it a little more simple.
Should I simplify it?
Yeah, I just love, I want him to see me, you know, and there I am working.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am working. I've made effort. I want him to see that about me. So you know what it is you want him to see, your efforts and how hard you're working. I'm working hard over here, but everybody, you can all find a moment where you want to be seen. You want that person to see you who's not seeing you. And it may be a different thing. It might be in that situation, you want them to see how loving you are, or, you know, how much you care, or you notice in the presence of that person. I want them to see, and just find your own situation, your own person, and let it percolate in you as Julie does the work. Just let that come alive. I love that it's like in the group, somebody's work becomes everyone's work. So, all right, so Julie, so there you are, and you want him to see you working, effort, working hard. You want him to see that. Is it true?
Yes.
Can you absolutely know that it's true? You want him to see that about you. Can you be sure he's not seeing it? Hard work, effort.
No.
How'd you find your no there?
Well, it's just the minute you say it, I can't know that for sure. I come to I don't know mind. Like, I don't know that that's the best thing. I don't know that he doesn't see me. Like, I see the I don't know.
Yeah. So what happens when you think it? Effort, hard work that you're doing, and you want him to see it. What happens when you think that thought and it feels like he's not seeing it?
I go from anger to depression. I blame myself. I overreact to him, try to make him happy, try to work and do and hurry, to be seen. I probably look like a squirrel running around trying to be seen, I noticed this morning the anxiety inside, the feeling of this person isn't happy. Maybe it's my fault. I'm responsible. The way that I treat him is that I just criticize him in my mind, just judge and know all his faults and mad at him and don't want to speak to him. And if he just weren't in my life, just this fight with him on the inside.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, with myself, I just feel defeated. I'll go into depression, and then resistance, procrastination, not really able to do my work sometimes, or not wanting to. Just like, what's the use? Yeah, this is really the father wound for me. This is, my dad has passed, but this is the work really with my father. It's the same work that I haven't done. I want him to see me. And I notice there's certain men in my life that remind me of my father and act the same. So I keep even though my dad is gone, he's really not. He's in this person, and he's in other people I've worked with that I have this same conflict with. I can think of every job, in my life that there's been a man like this for me. Where I think I need his approval, or, something, and it's the father wound for me. So that's what I'm living out here.
So good to notice. It's like
Mm-hmm.
letting it, the images that are seen, letting them go back before this person existed in your life. Did you have this thought before? It's good to notice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, powerful. Want him to see me, want him to recognize me, working hard, effort.
Mm-hmm.
See that. Okay. All right. And so good to notice aggression inside happens, sadness happens, despair. This is never going to work. I'm not doing it right. And just avoiding, just like if this person just didn't work here, I'd be happy. All those strategies the mind comes up with. Okay. All right. So, who would you be without this story, without this thought? I want him to see me, my work, my effort. I want that. Without the story, it's for sure not being seen. I'm not being seen here. Being seen is required. Without that story, who would you be? And just imagine being right there. There's that person. There he is. And you're at work. But you don't have the thought, I want him to see me.
I would be free. My shoulders would be lighter. I wouldn't have these weights on them. I wouldn't be trying to do something impossible, control somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I would be in my lane, minding my business.
Mm-hmm.
Noticing me, I would be seeing me.
Mm-hmm. You just feel that in your body. Like let it just, almost like the same pause button when we're looking at the stress and the pain and the trouble. Just paused on that moment. And now without the story and feeling it physically in your body.
It's just relief. It's just like,
it's wonderful to have that moment of, nothing's required here. Okay. So let's turn it around. All right. You're kind of going there already. I want me to see myself. I want me to see myself. And especially for effort and hard work.
yeah, I really want me to see that, because it seems sometimes it's never enough. And I want to see how it's enough. It's got to be enough. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
Mm.
Um,
How is it enough? Like, just find an example in this job and in this work, and maybe even all the way back with Father. I see my effort. I'm seeing it. I see my hard work.
yeah, it's more than enough. I can see it. It's more than enough. It's trying too hard. It's
Mm.
just can see, like, it can relax a little and still be good.
Mm.
can do just a little bit less and still be perfect.
You want me to see me, my hard work.
Yeah, I want me to see how it is enough. Um, and earlier than when I see, I don't have a satisfaction with it so much of the time, and I want to have that. I want to have a peace with it and like it's enough. Because I wake up most mornings thinking I'm not working hard enough. It's not done. It's not enough. And
Yeah.
I don't make time for other things in my life because the work is still there and it's not done and I haven't done enough and I've procrastinated or whatever. Um,
So good to see. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I didn't think this would be about my relationship with work, but it sounds like it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I want me to see me. I want to stop and see that. I want to stop and see how hard I'm trying. Maybe I'm trying too hard and I can relax a little bit.
Yeah. I even love noticing in that kind of moment that you said, waking up in the morning, it's like, I want me to recognize my mind, my thinking is working really hard here. It's working
For
hard.
sure. It is overdrive.
Yes.
The to-do list is going, and the dread that goes with that to-do list. Yeah.
Yeah. Just give thinking a break, let it, it's okay. It's okay, everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Slowing down is fine. Like, thank you, mind, for working so hard trying to solve problems with with thought. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really feels good to slow down.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Another turnaround. I want him to see me, see this hard work.
I want me to see him.
Mm. Uh-huh.
He works really hard.
Mm.
He tries really hard. I want me to see him doing that.
Yeah. Notice he might feel the same way, like he can't stop. Maybe, just noticing.
Mm-hmm.
There he is, working hard, efforting, you know, it's truly seeing it.
Mm-hmm. I do see it.
Yeah.
He's just like me.
Just love noticing that. Yeah.
Overworking, working really hard,
Yeah.
driving,
Yeah.
pushing.
Yeah. Maybe unable to rest. How about father?
Definitely
Mm.
push hard, never see him, works all the time,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can't.
trying to be seen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so sweet, like you'll know where something feels right on this, but like, a living turnaround of really noticing this person, seeing them, recognizing. Um, there might be a way of sharing that with this person that might come alive. Who knows? Like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, you really work hard.
Yeah, for sure.
So another turnaround, the other turnaround, to the opposite.
I want him to see me. I want me to see him. I want me to see me.
I don't want him to see me.
Okay, I don't want him to see me.
Yeah. I don't want that. If he doesn't, I don't want him to recognize, I mean, how so? Like genuine, I don't want him to see how hard I'm working, how hard I work, my efforting. I don't want him to see that.
Yeah, I would like to not be dependent on that. I would like to not even need that, or not even think I need that outside approval, that I have enough inside myself for that.
Mm.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe if he sees me working hard, that might distract him, or I don't know, it might not be a positive thing. So for him, so I don't know that. I don't know that it would be positive or negative, but I guess I just want him to do what he needs to do for him, not for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can touch base with Father on that. How would it be okay? I don't want him to recognize, to see me and my effort.
Yeah, when I think that, I can see his love, just his love without any effort, without any, I can just see the love that he has for me and how it's not conditional.
Mm.
It's possible. It's as true, if not truer.
Yeah, it might be fun interesting to have him see you not working so hard, and bring
That's
that.
true. He used to tell me that. He used to tell me I needed to learn how to have fun and that I should have more fun in college and I should not be so serious. And he used to tell me that.
Isn't that something, just hearing that, yeah, don't want him to see me with this effort. I want him to see me relaxing.
Yeah, I like that, Grace.
Yeah, it could be, and it could be that this boss, might have some of the same wisdom for all we know. Maybe it's just the joy of seeing a balance,
mm-hmm.
not only working, just fun.
Mm-hmm.
Could be that he'd like to see that. That's a fun living turnaround in a way, like fun. Bringing fun to work. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, it's great.
I like how you slowed it down.
Yes. Slowing it down, so helpful. My goodness. Yeah, that mind that wants to effort and go really fast, get it all done. Yeah, even with the work. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Julie. Yeah. So, who found something there, that little tidbit or something that you want to share? Would you notice anything you'd like to say, just even listening to Julie? Would you become aware of? Anything you noticed?
Well, you encouraged me to write out a sheet on my father, so I appreciate it that it's true that all the men that trigger me, you know, I so often don't just stop and say, I wonder if there was somebody before them. And so I got a good worksheet out of it. And I admire your responsibility doing that.
Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. Of those fathers. And sometimes it's, you know, feels so long ago. It's sort of distant, but just letting yourself bring it on in, you know, and just see. If you were telling the story of your father, what does it look like? What does it sound like? And Jen says, thank you, Julie. It was my work as well. And Sandy, maybe all my upsets with others is because I believe they don't see me. Yeah. Yeah. And Karen loves that. My own judgments of others that impact how I show up when interacting with them. Yeah, it's like I'm bringing this thing on my shoulder here as I connect with someone, have a conversation with someone. Yeah. And Stephanie, love this. Looking at food. My favorite. Looking at that compulsion of food, just compulsion, you know, watching that. So looking at the thought as you followed along here, it sounds like I can't stop thinking about food. And I can stop thinking about food. You know what I like noticing in that turnaround is I do. I'm capable. Sometimes I go to sleep. Sometimes I have other things on my mind. Even if it seems like what I'm saying, you know, is, wow, I constantly think about food, but that's not even actually true. Even at the height of my compulsive behavior, that wasn't always true at every moment. So I already do stop thinking about food. I'm able to, I'm capable. So just noticing that. And it's a good one. So, yeah. All right. And Allison saying, thank you. My work too. Alati, a good reminder to stay in my own lane. Yes, like that term, my own business. All right. Who else would like to do the work? You can do the hand raising thing down at the bottom or just wave. Hopefully I'll see you. Okay, Karen, perfect. Welcome. So there you go. All right. Thank you, Karen.
Walking to a more private place.
Yes.
My house.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
We all know what that's like these days. Yep.
Oh, I didn't bring the phone holder. Okay, maybe I will. I think I'm going to probably do this without video. Is that okay?
That's totally fine.
Just because it's easier for me not to have to hold the phone up.
Absolutely.
So, I'm going to turn off all my alarms.
Oops, you just muted yourself. Ha. There you go.
Sorry, I had to turn off alarms. Okay, don't want those going off while we're talking.
Awesome.
Okay, I am upset because my daughter has an eating disorder.
Oh, okay.
And so in this situation, do you want me to go through the worksheet? Do we start the worksheet? Sorry, I'm a little rusty.
Yeah, you can say just a little more, and we can, and that's even a great.
Then start the turnaround.
Yeah, okay. We'll dive into it.
So in this situation, I want the eating disorder to go away. In this situation, I feel that my daughter should love herself, should recognize how amazing she is, should stop comparing herself to others, and should stop expecting to be perfect. In order to be happy, I need my daughter to love herself, to stop hating her body, and stop hating herself. In this situation, what was it, my list? What do you think of them? Yeah. I think of her as being judgmental, as being hurtful, as being not committed to her recovery. And I don't want to ever experience again her losing weight and spiraling down to have to go into treatment again.
Wow.
I mean, she's in treatment, but to have to be put in a center again.
Yes. Okay. So powerful work, Karen. Thank you for bringing it. So everybody could find when somebody's out there, somebody that you care about is doing something, is experiencing something, whatever it is, an eating disorder, a disease, an ailment, a condition, that you want it to go away. You want it to go away. All right. So, okay, this is courageous work. All right. So, Karen, let's just start at the very top. Like, she has this. She has an eating disorder. See, this might seem like, oh, it's a fact, like I broke my arm or whatever. Seems right. True. She has an eating disorder. Is it true? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the other thing I was going to add was I wrote, she feels unaccepted and unloved. So that might be easier for me to, because yes, the eating disorder is true, right? But she truly feel unaccepted or unloved.
Yes. Okay. So she should love herself, right? She feels accepted and unloved. And just to sit with, can I absolutely know it's true? She has an eating disorder. I mean, this is really powerful to just look at the absoluteness, beyond a shadow of a doubt, like for all time, this person has an eating disorder. We're not doing the work in order to deny it, but she has it. She has it. Just found this one quite interesting.
What comes up for me is it has her.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? I mean, powerful. It's like I can't absolutely know that it's true. Even right now at this moment, it's something's got her. She's certainly not alone. Good to notice. It's like just watching. In a way, I can't absolutely know all the things that I'm thinking about this when I'm saying she has an eating disorder. All that I'm noticing, all that I think it means. Is it true? She's got it. So I heard your little crack of like, put that way, I'm not really sure. might be a no. I mean, this is amazing for even any condition, every single part of me has, I don't know, like this pain, like my injured hamstring. I have an injured hamstring. I mean, can I absolutely know it's true? Every single thing about that. I don't know. I mean, it's like the body's, yes, it's underway, but I can't absolutely know it's true. Just interesting to notice. What happens when you think this thought? She has an eating disorder. She should love herself. So what happens? I mean, I hear you say one thing that happens is she thinks she doesn't love herself.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't love herself. And what does it feel like in your body? You think she is not loving herself. She has an eating disorder. How do you react? What happens? What images come to mind?
What it's multiple things, but so it's pain. It's painful. I feel very sad.
Mm. Yeah.
And then there's a part of me that's like, well, maybe she loves herself so much that she's, I don't know, that seems like a really deep turnaround, but maybe she loves herself so much she's trying to take care of herself.
Mm.
In whatever way she knows how, that's how she's trying to take care of herself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She's reaching for something, trying, doing something. Something's going on over there that's intense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And this, strong, in your worksheet, strong sense of, so she has an eating disorder. There's something about it, or your mind travels. She should love herself. She must not love herself. She must not love herself. She must not accept herself, and just notice as a mom, as someone who cares, as somebody, what you believe and think there. And you see the pictures. Sounds like you've got some experience of what's happened in the past already. And where do you think it's going? Any pictures of the future? She has an eating disorder. You just see what your mind shows you, what the images are that you see.
I see her recovered, but I see struggle.
Mm. Yeah, good to notice. Struggle.
I see pain. I see missed opportunities.
Mm. That's powerful to notice. She won't have, those opportunities, they won't happen. She'll miss that. Yeah. Okay. So sometimes they're just almost like a card deck, so many images, about what it means if somebody has an eating disorder. There that all is, and the suffering. See the suffering.
Yeah.
And how do I treat this person when I see them suffering? And just notice what the energy's like between the two of you. It's from you to her, when it feels stressful.
Yeah, I know I respond from fear.
Mm. Yeah. Okay, just watching that fear. Just noticing it, being with it. Yeah. Okay. That person has an eating disorder. Okay. This person I love so much. So, who would you be without the thought? She has an eating disorder. What if you just set it down for a moment, and it's everything that it means, the whole story, the whole painful story. Here's this condition, and what if for a moment I just didn't have that thought, believe the thought, and everything about it?
I'd be so relaxed and so much calmer, and probably much kinder.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that sweet to know, like kindness would come out stronger? Kindness comes up. this is something people can think about themselves. And I know at the beginning I'm inviting everyone to say, don't do the work on yourself, but I would have had this thought. I have an eating disorder, you know, that panic, and just kindness presenting itself without the story, without the whole thing. Kindness. I can even find some curiosity in there. You know, I wonder about this. I wonder what's going on, in a kind way. It's not so much fear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's turn it around. Right. She has an eating disorder. She doesn't love herself. Let's just make it simple. She has an eating disorder. So funny. Turned around to the self. I have a disorder. Do I have an eating disorder?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it might not make sense. Like you could just say,
right, but
something disordered over here.
Right. Well, I don't love myself. Yeah.
I have a disorder with love. With self-love is not in order.
Exactly.
Yeah. Out of order with love, out of order, especially when it comes to my daughter who has an eating disorder. It's like just watching that and noticing it. Could that be true? No blame here. We're not, you know, hunting down guilt.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. I haven't loved myself. And is there something, you know, I love the word disorder. Things out of order. Like, yeah. You put things in order and you say number 1, number 2, number 3, they're in order and it's switched around, like something's with this love.
Yeah.
I also love, you know, noticing eating. Eating is like taking in physical matter of the world, like it's taking something in. You actually take it in and chomp it up and become one with it. It's like one thing that we do. We drink stuff too, but we're actually like bringing it right into ourselves and it becomes a part of the body, you know, and there's something out of order with that. With my daughter. And so there's something about taking love in, perhaps, just taking love in instead of saying, oh no, I can't love myself in this situation. You know, I can't eat in this situation. Can't receive it in this situation. Just seeing. I have a love disorder. Yeah. Especially when it comes to my daughter. Does that make sense? Does that feel like you find it? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I just sort of substitute one of my children. It's not eating disorder, but like concern about them. And I think I have a love disorder. Right. You know, I'm sort of blaming myself a bit. I watch those blaming things like, you should have seen this, or you should have done it differently. You know, like retroactively kind of trying to fix myself in the past, or like whatever I did before that contributed to this problem, my parenting or something. I mean, I just noticed my mind doing that. So that's a love disorder.
I spend a lot of time there. Yes.
Yeah. And it's such a great disorder. You know, I'm trying to go backwards in time, which is impossible. Out of order. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. I can look at memories. I can look at the version, but I, you know, can't change it. And so it's like, you know, moving out of order there. All right. So she has an eating disorder. love herself. She should love herself. I have, I'm something disordered. I should love her.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Could I love that even with the eating disorder? Could I love something, whatever love is, connection, contact? Can I be with that thing we're calling an eating disorder? And I don't know, just open to it as something that is a call for love or a call for help or something not as dangerous as I think, even though it's okay for it to be dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
not denial. But over there, she has that turned around. I should love that eating disorder. I have something disordered when it comes to her.
Mm-hmm.
A love disorder when it comes to her, or this eating disorder. So just noticing.
Yeah, it's really interesting that while there's lots of struggles and challenges and problems, it has certainly brought our family closer.
Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I could say I love the eating disorder for that.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. Doesn't mean you're saying something absurd like I hope it stays forever. We're not saying suffering is absolutely should keep running itself forever. Not that, but that's amazing. Very precious. It's brought our family together. It's an example. I think she might have dropped away. Maybe she'll be back. Are you there? I don't see her on my screen. So let's just say it. She does not have an eating disorder. So that person that I think has this condition, this disorder, this problem, they actually don't have it. How could that be true? I mean, I like seeing, some part of their mind is running and doing this thing, but is it who they are? Is that who they are? And do they have it every moment? Yeah, and I love Lori's sharing. There's still order to what they do. It's a good one. There's something there. Yeah, I like to think of it as an attempt, like instead of this is a mistake and they're doing it, oh no, and this is terrible. Like there's just something, an invitation here. They're reaching for this love that seems to be absent. They're moving with it. They're working with it. They're attempting to understand. There's something solid underneath all of it that's steady and here, except for their mind. They're still here. Bye, Marty. So, who was following along? Anything that came up? What did you notice? Could you find examples? I like noticing with this, there's a mental, emotional conditions, difficulty, physical. My friend who died of cancer, he has cancer. He does not have cancer. Yeah, his love doesn't have cancer. Her love doesn't have an eating disorder. Her intentions, her life force doesn't have an eating disorder. Her future doesn't have an eating disorder. I mean, no matter what, her future doesn't have an eating disorder. I mean, this is odd, but I can find that in my friend Carl because he died. You know, whatever's moved on and whatever else is here definitely doesn't have an eating disorder. If anything, whatever's there, it's done. Ah, Karen's back.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Of all times for the phone to die.
Yes, perfect. Just what, it must have been in order, you know? Instead of disordered phone, it was in order and well.
Yes.
Yeah. And we were in the complete opposite. You know, how interesting. She does not have an eating disorder. Mm-hmm. She does not have a love disorder. There isn't a love disorder. I mean, interesting. Like just to be able to find any example at all. Sometimes I like this one, you know, when she's sleeping.
Yes, no, that's true.
Yeah.
It does not completely engulf her life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really powerful to notice. The mind has a bias towards noticing when that she's got this eating disorder, you know? Oh my God. Danger, danger. And it's just to see the moments when that's not actually happening.
Right.
When we're talking together, when I'm with her, when I'm giving her a hug.
Yeah, no, and when she's living her life, I mean, I say this again, it feels judgmentally, but fully, you know, when she is in her fullness, she does not have that.
Yeah. No, it doesn't sound judgmental. I mean, here's an interesting thing. Even if, as you imagine her doing that thing she does with food, like not take it in or refuse to take it in or take in too much of it, you know, there she is. And there's some part of her, with everybody who's having this experience that's saying there's something off. You know, there's something else that they get that there's something out of order within, you know, the suffering's there. It doesn't mean they're going to stop. You know, we know those people, they're us. I mean, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's Ka. It says Ka. Hello. Oops, you're still on mute, my dear. There you go.
Well, this thing about it bringing the family closer.
Yes.
So maybe even to thank it for bringing the family closer and invite it now. You've done your job and actually we'll find something different to bring the family closer. But you taught us that we could bring the family closer. So thank you very much.
That's yeah.
Yes. Beautiful. I actually have felt that way at times. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I can find that as I look at my own history and my past, that my family did family therapy. Never, ever would I, like I learned what therapy was called. Never heard of that before. So it's beautiful. Yeah. And just to see, you know, what's present. You know, of course, we're not in favor of unnecessary suffering, but some suffering sometimes seems to have brought, not that we'd wish it on others, that's not the point. It's like just noticing, I notice within myself, the suffering I went through led me through what felt like a very dark forest, but then it something came out of the forest. And I just don't know what else, whatever the path, you know, I trust reality, the path where it led. I mean, that's the reality. And I like the word eating disorder, like love disorder, taking something in, grabbing for something too much, really thinking disorder. And I can find how I had a thinking disorder and a love disorder, like you've mentioned, Karen, at the time, you know. Yeah. Anxious, afraid. A lot of compassion for that, like all these disorders that human beings experience. Compulsion. Yeah. So that's beautiful. I mean, Karen, really. Thank you for your work. Just what an amazing thing to be able to sit. And it doesn't mean I hope this stays forever or anything, you know, just that seems completely absurd. It's like this thing that has come to visit. It is like the Rumi poem, sweeping my house of everything. It feels like a powerful presence. Something is here and I can meet it. How do I know? Because it's here. I am enough. I can hold that my love is enough. My love is here. And I can find that within myself and within those other people who are suffering.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Yeah, thank you for bringing that. All right. So lovely to have you, Julie. All the little messages of appreciation and off people go. So lovely to have you being here. Yeah. Anyone else want to share, since we are at the end of our time, anything that came up that you heard today that you just want to express? Any questions? Love the chats. Yeah, Teresa.
This morning I did my JYN on a doctor. I had gotten a disturbing email right before our session today, which was perfect. So I did it all about how the email said something like, I want you to schedule an appointment before the one you already have to come discuss your lab work. And I was like, I scheduled the date because that's when you're first available. And then underneath that, it said, but there's nothing available. And so I did the phrase, the doctor should see that I'm responsible, right? Like because I'm feeling like she's telling me that I'm the irresponsible one. when really, like, she but it was very cool, because as Julie walked through hers, I walked through and saw that, oh, this is my mother. I am asking this doctor to be the mother that I didn't think that I had, or that she should recognize that I am responsible and that I am doing good and I'm doing everything that I know how to do. And so it was really sweet to realize the expectation I had no idea that I had put on this doctor to validate me and to tell me that I'm good. So it was so huge, a really, really big gift.
Yeah, love it. What a great insight. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. And I love in the chat, Jen saying, thank you, Karen. That was a wonderful inquiry. I was following right along with an addict in my life. Yeah. Those people are something. And Stephanie, thank you for today. I'm going to thank my obsession with food for teaching me to recognize when I want to avoid my feelings. Yeah, powerful. And Orsolia, I think that might be how you say your name. I'm not sure, but I'm so glad you're here for the first time. Beautiful. Yeah, love it. Anyone else before we close today? Yeah, Lori.
Yeah, I was doing the sheet too on the daughter has the obsession or the eating disorder. See, it's already something else.
Yeah.
And I came across like, what part of that is my business as a mother versus her doctor's business, who I'm, that's who she goes to, and her business as, 14 years old.
Yeah.
So help.
Well, I love that. It's that great, for anybody who doesn't know, 3 kinds of business: my business, your business, God's or realities or the great mysteries business,
Another one. Okay.
Yeah. And just to see, yes, I'm so connected to this person and their experience is not my experience. We're not having the same experience. They're having a unique path. And can I even just trust it in this moment? And if it's showing up in my life, what can I learn from this? Really about love and helping somebody we care about. And, what would be going on there? That there's this person appears to be suffering. And I can, if I stay in my own business, I can just wonder about that, and just see. And yeah, I don't have to fix it. Boy, that'll.
So like, follow the simple directions.
Follow the simple directions.
When's your appointment? Okay, let's go.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Simple directions. Love this person so much. Being a listener, a good listener. I want to hear what I want to hear. This 14-year-old, who apparently is in my care. I can trust this process. I can trust something about this process, what's being brought to me, and then what isn't mine. Yeah, I love that. Follow the simple directions. Yeah, this is not my addiction. In the moment when I'm believing they should stop, I should stop thinking.
Okay.
And believing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's a dance, isn't it? Just being right there on the edge. But I love the call for love or reaching for love, or what is any compulsion or addiction doing? It's like expressing something. There they are expressing something. And to think of it as, instead of a big mistake or a horrible, horrible thing that's damaging, it's like it's reaching, wanting, looking for something, believing something isn't there, just looking. And, they'll.
And it's an intelligence because I'm an addict. So it's an intelligence based on what I believe at that time. I mean, my daughter's incredibly intelligent. incredibly independent, incredibly thinking this is something I can take care of, or this is something I have to take care of. In my thinking, that's what's going on with her.
Yes.
So I'm, in one way, I'm very proud of her, and she's so amazing. And in another way, I'm just like, I just want to hold her and protect her from everything and take care of this myself. And
yeah, I mean, just great to watch all of it. You know,
yeah.
all of it happen, all of it, and then know what's my part.
Yeah.
What is mine to do? What is mine to do? And wouldn't that person want me to be clear about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who would I be without the thought?
Yeah,
I would be. I would be. I don't even know. I would just like, well, we're sitting next to each other.
yes, woman sitting next to older, you know, teenager.
Together, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Present.
yeah. Beautiful. Thank you all for your precious work and your presence, and another wonderful thank you, and thanks everyone, especially Grace, for bringing things forward for sweet consideration. There we go, sweet consideration. I love that. All right, lots of love. Take good care, everybody. Until next time. All right, lots of love.
Thank you, Grace.